Hey, what is going on, my use of my tube? The word YouTube. But yeah, so today's Tuesday. I am so sorry I haven't made a video in a while. I'd be keeping up on my schoolwork and doing my homework and stuff, you know what I mean? High school, big deal. But, yeah, so here we go. About to talk about the Uromastyx Feeding and foods. Alright, so starting in the staples category, some foods are listed. There is cactus pads, other words, cactus leaves, which are very good for your Uromastyx because they are high in calcium, which is good for them. And then a cactus pear, which is called a prickly pear. Yeah, a prickly pear, which is also good and for high calcium for the Uromastyx. So you guys should maybe check some of that food out. Alright, so for some other foods, in the staples category, you can get sorry, I'm saying like a lot, I don't know why, just a habit. But for staples category, there's some foods of dandelion greens, which, other words, like outside foods, which you should be pretty cautious about, because for the outside foods, you want to make sure they're sorry, I can't say this word for some reason, pesticide free. So make sure no insects or any chemicals and stuff has been on there, like urination, poop, like that. And it should be like pesticide free for, I know it seems like a lot, for like 2 years, which also I think you can like clean the food. I'm not really sure on that, but yeah, that also goes for like stuff in your cage. Again, dealing with your enclosures for your Uromastyx. If you find like pieces of log or rocks, you want to make sure you clean those very good to wipe off all the like germs, chemicals, urination from animals, insects, and most of the stuff like that. When I forgot to mention that dandelion greens are very good and high in calcium. Sorry about the shaking. And vitamin A, actually, they're good for the nutritions like that. Smart foods in the staples category, you're going to have your squashes. The types of squashes you can have is one, acorn squash, butternut squash, Habbard squash, scallop squash, spaghetti squash, and summer squash. Now all those are good. Most of them are high in fiber and calcium, and most of them are high in vitamin A too, so that's really good for your Uromastyx. Alright, so let's move on to the second category, rationals. Rationals are basically your like greens, so I'd say lettuce and your veggies, what they should have. And then also you can give them lentils. My Uromastyx, they love lentils. You can give them soaked or non-soaked. Like I think soaked's better for them. I'm not really sure, but sometimes I give them non-soaked. Most of the time I do. And like as soon as like they see those lentil beans in there, like they just go straight for it. I mean, here, let me show you guys what they look like real quick. Let me get out my supply case. Alright, so here I have lentils. You guys see that from Myers. I'm going to pull one out for you guys. Alright, so put a good sample on my finger. Just like a little small bean around, and just put it in the cage. Well, I dropped it. I'll put that up later. You just put it in the cage, and like mine just like go right at it and eat them all. Because, like I said, they really like those. Alright, so for some other veggies that your Uromastyx can have is shredded carrots, zucchini, what else is there? Watercress, greens, so which has like high in vitamin C, which high basically means like 4%. Not sure if that's really high, and then vitamin A in it. You don't want too much vitamin C though, because it's basically like orange juice, which is citrus, which is not really good for them that much. But you could give those shredded carrots are high in vitamin A, about 100 50 grams, and then zucchini is high in phosphorus. And then moving on to peppers. I can give you a list of what peppers they can eat: green bell peppers, red bell peppers, and yellow bell peppers. So, and basically those are all high in vitamin A. So we're gonna move on now to the occasionals category. So in the occasionals, you're gonna have other vegetables like shredded green beans, and like green peas. There's many types of shredded green beans they can have. I guess just go to like a grocery store, look up. You don't want any like green beans with a lot of fat, a lot of fiber in it. A little protein's good. And like phosphorus is pretty good, which also named as calcium, which is really good for them. And then in the green beans, usually the water percentage is around 93. So they like water, since you can't just give them water on a normal basis like that. So for some other vegetables you can give them is mustard greens, turnip greens, and romaine lettuce. Romaine lettuce is very good for the nutrition. I usually give that to them most of the time. I know it says every month, but I usually give them like once a week probably, because it has good water percentage in it. I'm not pretty much sure, but I think it's between 94 to 96 percentage in it. And romaine lettuce is, I don't want to tell you guys wrong info, but I think it's good nutrition. I was told that by other people I know that have reptiles, but also that's good. So most of the stuff in the occasionals has good water percentage, which is, like I said, good for them, because you can't just give them a water dish, because usually they'll like soak it up in their tails and it will do tail rotting, which is not good for them. So for some flowers they can eat, they can have like violets, cat's ear. I know it sounds weird, but cat's ear is like a fake dandelion. So in other words, they can have dandelion, violets, cat's ear. They can have rose petals. There's a flower called bird's foot, which is, I think, high in nutrition for them. And then hollyhock, which is also good for them in their nutrition. Alright, now for the big category is fruits. There's like tons of fruits they can eat. I'm gonna try to list them all off the top of my head. And then I wrote, obviously you see me looking down, I have a sheet of paper, I wrote stuff down for the video, so if you're wondering why, that's why. So like, they can have apple peels, apricots, blackberries, cherries, cranberries, figs, grapes, guava. Not absolutely sure what that is. They can have mango, which is also good for them. Papaya. They got pears, raisins, and strawberries. Try not to give them stuff with like a lot of seeds in it. And then do not give them oranges, because it has citrus in it, which is not good for them. There's types of melons you can give them. You can give them watermelon, but you want to take out the seeds. And then you can give them honeydew and then cantaloupe. And then for seeds, there is seeds you can give them. Forgot about this. There is some seeds, which is you can give them safflower, clover, sesame, and white millet seeds. So those are good. And then I could tell you guys what not to feed them in a minute. Alright, so there's like a crap load. I mean, a crap load of stuff they cannot eat, which I will tell you this category stuff they cannot eat and why and what it does to their system. So we're going to start off with like oxalic acids. So that's stuff like kiwi and beets, and there's other stuff I'll list to you later. What it does, it binds up the calcium in their body, removing it from like other foods, so it won't be digested in their system. So like I said, that includes beets, kiwi, parsley, pomegranate, and chard. And then there's stuff they can have, which other stuff it like includes soybean, broccoli, kale, Brussels sprouts, spinach, cauliflower, and sweetie. I think that's what it's called. I don't know. I can't really say the word. It's hard to pronounce. But like it depresses the thyroid function in their body, and it like won't filter their blood good enough. Like their blood flow won't be as smooth as it should be. And also, vitamin C, like I said before, it has other words, citrus, so orange juice, oranges, which is not good for them because it causes high level of diarrhea, which is fine like for them and us, high levels for them, but in human times that's 500 grams, which is pretty bad for their system, and it is not good for them because it devolves stress and it gives them diseases. So you shouldn't give them tomatoes, oranges, and grapefruit because all of those basically have citrus in them. Besides tomato does not have citrus, but it has some other stuff they cannot have. And then phosphorus, high levels is not good for them. So what has high levels of it is bananas, corn, and potatoes. You should not be feeding them that. And then for some frozen greens, you can like freeze your vegetables, like especially with leaf greens. You should freeze. You could freeze those. I think it just like gets rid of some of the bad like vitamins that are inside of it, which is it like kills them off, or what I mean, like if you get them from outside. Alright, so I'm going to add a couple more things in the video. So for like preparing your Uromastyx food dish, so I would say for like lettuces and like vegetables and fruits they can eat, just like cut them up like about the size of like between the width of their eyeballs is a good size, so like it's easier for them to chew and eat. Like I said, goes with lettuce and fruits and vegetables. And then for squash, it's a little trickier. Like it's a little harder to prepare for them. You want to cook it, and then you want to freeze it for some time. So for cooking level, hang on, let me look at my sheet here. I'm not sure if I wrote it down. No, but it says you should. My sheet says you should cook it and then freeze it with some ice cubes around it, which is also good for them. And then you can feed your Uromastyx crickets. It's not recommended, but I've seen people do it. Like if you're going to, I wouldn't do it too much because they're mostly herbivores, and like I've got a cricket, and my friend has a bearded dragon, so I got it from his house, and I put it in their cage, and they stared at it like they had no idea what it was. They just stared at it like and stood frozen, like I think they were scared or something. So I just took the cricket out of the cage. And if you do have crickets, don't leave those crickets at night in the cage, because the crickets could eat your reptile at night as they're sleeping. So yeah, thanks guys for watching Uromastyx information for what your Uromastyx should eat and what should not eat. Stay tuned next time. Like I said, I've not made videos in a while until now. I was supposed to make one this weekend, but I guess I'm going to my dad's this weekend again, so next video will be next Tuesday. And then I'm probably going to make like 2 videos because it's Thanksgiving weekend. And I'm off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I'm probably going to make one either Wednesday or Friday, and then one on Sunday. So get ready for those. I'm not sure what they're going to be yet, but they're going to be about Uromastyx. And when I finish with Uromastyx, I'm going to go on to new different reptiles and what they should eat, enclosures, and blah blah blah, all that junk about what they should have in there. But yeah, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and favorite videos.